The female soldier stabbed the monster lying in the car with her gun, but the monster instantly grabbed the female soldier's gun. Its companions quickly rushed towards the female soldier. The monster firmly held on to the female soldier's gun. She could only use her handgun to shoot at another monster. The agile monster evaded the bullets. After shooting the monster inside the car, another monster tackled her. In a critical situation, the female soldier activated her weapon. Her weapon successfully killed the opponent. Since the alien invasion a few years ago, Earth has become a hell on Earth. Only a few refugees managed to escape to the moon. They established a secret base. Now, to save the desperate survivors on Earth, the base selected 3 heroes to fight against the invaders on Earth. They are Jack, Daniel, and Athena, respectively. Although these 3 individuals may seem unreliable, they have passed the system's screening. The base has prepared armor for them. It is a bionic enhanced body protection system. It can protect the user from bullets, small lasers, as well as biological and chemical substances. In addition, the helmet is equipped with a communication system. The base's leader warned the 3 individuals. The aliens occupying Earth are called Sentinels. Unfortunately, the base doesn't have a deep understanding of him. After briefing everything, the 3 of them set off officially. They boarded a specially designed spacecraft and left the moon. The spaceship got closer and closer to Earth. Suddenly, Daniel put something into the control panel. It turns out that the base leader's plan is not just about sending them back to Earth, but to achieve time travel by distorting time through gravity, to go back in time and prevent the alien invasion. However, the subatomic particles in the human body need to find space to prevent compression, so Daniel specially prepared the neutron bullet jumper. After saying that, he injected himself in the neck. Athena heard Jack Fan Xiao Fang. Athena and Jack followed suit. As the spaceship approached Earth gradually, a tremendous pressure struck. The front and wings of the spaceship emitted red light. The cabin could also feel the distortion of space. As the spaceship was about to enter the atmosphere, half of the spaceship was burning red. Dazzling lights kept flashing. After the spaceship broke into Earth, the 3 of them seemed to enter a wormhole. They saw a blue tunnel in front of them. Shortly after, the 3 of them lost consciousness. The moon base lost contact with the spaceship. Based on the final data, the spaceship has deviated from its original target. It's about 20 kilometers away from the fortress. The president quickly learned about the failure of the Earth-saving plan. The leader was worried that he would come to shut down the lab, so he instructed the assistant to copy all the data from the hard drive and then destroy the original data. Sure enough, not long after, the president sent people to search the lab. The leader and the assistant quickly put on their battle armor. 2 special forces instantly broke through the security door. The leader, seeing this, smashed the glass with a backhand. The pressure inside the base instantly became unbalanced. After the special forces took cover behind the security door, the leader and the assistant took the opportunity to leave. They were certain that the 3 time travelers were still alive, so they went to a bar. The leader found a few reliable hackers. They planned to go to the far end of Zone 3 to find an abandoned transmitter to re-establish contact with the 3 of them. On the other side, Daniel woke up first. However, his 2 teammates were not by his side. Daniel activated the scanning device to check his surroundings. He found that he was in what seemed to be an abandoned warehouse. Daniel attempted to contact his teammates through the helmet communication. Unfortunately, he didn't receive any response. Daniel speculated that he was in the southwest wing of the fortress. He pushed open a nearby door to search for the center of the fortress. Meanwhile, Jack woke up in a barren land. An electrical storm was raging overhead. He carried his gun and walked into a nearby building. Jack noticed a metal fence on the ground, so he used a laser to cut through it. Then Jack jumped inside to investigate. Afterward, he used the laser to mark his path along the way. At the same time, Athena also regained consciousness. She took off her helmet to breathe the air. While the Earth's atmospheric pollution was severe, and it wasn't as pleasant as Athena had imagined, unlike her 2 teammates, she had actually ended up on the outskirts of a city. Athena proceeded along the main road. She saw traces of human habitation and skeletons that had long turned to bones. She cautiously approached a vehicle up ahead. Soon, Athena noticed a humanoid creature inside. It looked like an infected zombie. Athena tapped its chest with the barrel of her gun. Unexpectedly, the zombie suddenly lunged. It grabbed the barrel of Athena's gun and didn't let go. Immediately after, its companions emerged from the shadows and kept approaching the side. Athena drew her handgun and fired several shots, but all the shots missed the zombies, either due to her poor marksmanship or the zombies' agility. Athena had no choice but to smash the zombie's head inside the car first. Another zombie beside her took the opportunity to pounce, pinning Athena to the ground. This zombie possessed immense strength, and Athena couldn't break free from its grip. She simply activated the mechanism on her wrist guard, successfully smashing the zombie's head. Athena continued searching forward and found a motorcycle in a run-down car dealership. Athena opened the seat of the motorcycle and rode it towards the fortress. Along the way, electrical storms continuously struck the ground, and one wrong move could turn her into popcorn. Daniel here? He was still advancing through the narrow concrete corridor. Soon, Daniel discovered the second door, but there was nothing inside, and the passage behind the door became even narrower. Fortunately, Daniel finally made contact with Jack, and both of them were continuously getting closer to each other. Just then, Daniel detected signs of life and slowly approached the figure ahead. The old woman in front suddenly opened her mouth and screamed, and Daniel's wrist guard sounded an alarm. Something seems to be awakening. In the next second, a large group of zombies surged forward. Daniel quickly turned around and ran back. He ran all the way and welded the door lock from the outside. At the same time, the warrior known as the Sentinel woke up. Daniel returned to the abandoned factory once again. Just then, a dark figure flashed nearby. He turned off the flashlight and carefully inspected, but found no abnormalities. Daniel breathed a sigh of relief and was about to turn around when he came face to face with the Sentinel. He quickly dodged the attack as the Sentinel's arm emitted a laser, slicing through the pipe in front of him. This sequence of events was confusing. Daniel was clearly lying on the ground, yet the Sentinel kept attacking the pipe. Daniel was hiding behind a few broken pipes, and the Sentinel failed to notice him. The Sentinel left the factory directly. Just as the Sentinel left, a female warrior passed by and signaled for Daniel to follow her. The two of them arrived at a human base, and Daniel was surprised to find that there were still survivors on Earth. The commander took Daniel's handgun, as he had never seen such a weapon before, and did not believe there could be a base on the moon. Daniel expressed that this equipment could be effective against the Sentinels, and he wanted to join the commander in the fight. The commander naturally did not refuse, as manpower was the most valuable resource in the apocalypse. Daniel followed the commander to search for the Sentinels, and they found glass cabinets with numbered labels containing a large number of humans. The outer layer of the glass was covered with fleshy vines. The female warrior explained that these were infectious pots. Once humans were infected by the virus, they would turn into zombies, allowing Sentinels to dispatch those zombies. The Sentinels captured humans everywhere and locked them up with the purpose of strengthening their army. The Sentinel used to guard the prisoners, but unexpectedly, it was not present this time. Before everyone could initiate the rescue, the cage containing the prisoners suddenly sank. Meanwhile, the Sentinel hidden underground returned to its dormant place. It activated the infectious pods underground, causing countless viruses to pour into the cage. They entered through the prisoners' mouths and noses, rapidly spreading and turning them into puppets of the Sentinel. Meanwhile, Athena arrived near the fortress. The fortress wasn't supposed to be very big, so why hadn't the three of them encountered each other yet? The reason soon became apparent. The person in charge of the base, with the help of a hacker, regained information about the time travelers. He was surprised to discover that the three of them had actually fallen into different timelines. Daniel was in the year 2140, Jack was in 2160, and Athena remained in the current timeline. No wonder Daniel encountered the human organization, as he was in the earliest timeline. At this moment, Daniel was preparing to blow up the cage and rescue the people, but the infected zombies broke through the door. The commander quickly let his subordinate shoot, turning the zombies into live targets. These zombies charged forward madly, clearly not as smart as the zombies Athena encountered. These newly infected individuals had no intelligence whatsoever. Daniel quickly blew up the cage and rescued the commander's family. Everyone was preparing to retreat when suddenly the Sentinel appeared. It pushed open the iron gate and led a large army of zombies. The female warrior and her companions were responsible for covering the rear. Unfortunately, there were just too many zombies. There were always a few stragglers that managed to reach them. The female warrior kicked away the zombie in front of her, but the next second, she was tackled by another one. More and more zombies surged forward. They tore her into pieces. On the other side, Jack and Athena, both of them arrived at the Delta Zone, and they managed to reconnect their communication. Due to their timelines were different, the environment and the Delta Zone also differed. They looked around the area. They couldn't find each other. It was then they realized that there was a problem with their time jumps. Jack left a mark on a pole in District 19. A mark appeared where Athena was. A weapon covered in weeds on the ground was the one left behind after the death of the female warrior. In the year 2140, the three of them were in the same location but different times. On the other side, Daniel and the others were in a fierce battle with the Sentinel. Regular bullets couldn't harm the alien. It was almost a one-sided massacre. The Sentinel could slice off a person's head with a single swipe of its hand, not to mention its ability to shoot lasers. The commander shouted angrily and charged at the Sentinel with his gun. He dodged the lasers. While approaching the Sentinel, Daniel speculated that the Sentinel could share its vision with the zombies. So, Daniel distracted the Sentinel by luring its attention towards the zombies. He gave the commander time to escape. As expected, the Sentinel turned and headed towards Daniel upon hearing the sound. At the same time, Jack and Athena, they were also standing in the same location. The three time travelers, they encountered Sentinels from different timelines. They raced their weapons together. They opened fire at the Sentinels in front of them, but defeating the big boss wasn't so easy. All three of them were hit by the Sentinel's lasers. Daniel was even impaled by the Sentinel's claws. He decided to detonate a bomb. It destroyed the arm of the Sentinel that was shooting lasers. Athena and Jack noticed the enemy's weapon disappearing. They took the opportunity to launch a second round of attacks, but the Sentinel was still very powerful. It knocked Jack unconscious. Athena wasn't a match for the Sentinel either. An aged Jack suddenly appeared, and he rescued Athena from the Sentinel's clutches. The two of them quickly escaped from the fortress. It turned out that Jack had escaped from the Sentinel before. He had been waiting on Earth all this time, until he appeared in the same timeline as Athena. Meanwhile, the person in charge, who was unaware of the situation, saw the time travelers going offline one by one. He couldn't help but fall into deep despair. Nevertheless, an even more terrifying disaster was about to unfold. The Sentinels, based on the time travelers' helmet information, made their way to the moon. The people at the base were about to be slaughtered. An old man appeared carrying a homemade weapon.
Welcome to the moon.
The president's side received news of the Sentinel's death. They immediately held a press conference. Meanwhile, the Sentinel on the ground slowly opened its eyes. On the other side, Jack and Athena, who remained on Earth, made a firm decision. They were determined to go back to the past to save Daniel. The movie ends here. As a low-budget film, the film deviated from the typical grand scale of science fiction movies. It didn't portray a post-apocalyptic world or society, nor did it extensively depict scientific and fantastical elements. Instead, it focused on shaping the element of different points in time. It placed three characters at different time points in the same time and space. The characters at different time points have an impact as a result, but the movie didn't elaborate on the effects and changes in the same space-time. It simply incorporated this concept and outcome into the movie. This way, the film's creative team can boldly shape their characters without being bound by concepts. Sometimes you have to give up something to gain something. If you like my channel, please subscribe to it.